So we're going to go over some more keywords in foundational research today, and I'm going to share with you this information in 30 seconds or less. So, metasynthesis, we ended with meta-analysis in my last video series, and I want to go into a metasynthesis. Metasynthesis is where you are also looking at a whole lot of different studies, but from those studies, you're grouping themes and synthesizing. You're taking what that information is to try to figure out like how and why are we finding this? You're trying to give an explanation for it and make sense of it within the larger body of literature, but also across all these different studies. And so it's more about understanding why things happen and being able to explain them. So it's more closely used for research instead of looking at what works. And qualitative research versus quantitative research, there's a lot of different ways to conduct qualitative research, and there are a lot of different ways to conduct quantitative research. Specifically, though, the major defining feature is that in qualitative research, what we are measuring, the data we are collecting, it has words attached to it, and those words are analyzed to try to find uh, themes or meaning, or we could even look at how people describe something. We're not reducing those words to numbers, which is what we do in quantitative research. We apply a code book and we link uh, different words to a numeric value which they've been associated with in prior use. So qualitative has more to do with words. It generates more rich information, usually more explanation versus quantitative. We can generally get that information collected from a lot more people and we can assign numeric values. So then we can give population-based norms off of quantitative research and we can compare findings across studies because we're typically using a survey or an instrument. Those terms can be interchangeable, and we're using that same survey, that same instrument among various groups of people. So now we can try to increase the generalizability of those results as more and more people have been examined with that particular scale and what those findings are. And then a systematic review. This is a method of searching the literature in a methodical way, and you are documenting the steps that are undertaken. There's a clear process. There is transparency. I would say that is the key highlight to a systematic literature review, the transparency of the process, where if somebody was to come behind you and they wanted to replicate your study, they should be able to. And it's a lot of documenting the steps taken, a lot of documenting the keywords used. You need to consult with a librarian when you're selecting your keywords to try to elevate the rigor. Oftentimes, you need to have at least two people screening at some point to try to reduce bias throughout the study. And then you're documenting all those different things you've done to increase the checks and balances within how that was undertaken. So those findings can really be used in a more serious way for potential use in clinical settings. So there's our 30 seconds or less, and thanks for listening.